Hey MVPs, and shout out to YouTube and everybody watching this video. It's going to be a free video. We're going to talk about the results from UFC 316. Yes, I'm going to talk about our bets and our plays and all that, but more importantly, we need to talk about the fighters because we need to have a good note section, if you will, in our assessment of how these fighters performed last night. Shout out to UFC 316. It was pretty damn good. You know, some people probably didn't come out green yesterday. I can't help you any more than I already have. And I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. If we go to Patreon and we're here, I broke down all the fights like I always do. And then the people who lost money didn't watch these videos like they always do. They just skip the videos. And there are people who go and get this chart and tail the chart. And that is what you think you are paying for. That is what you think this is about. And you are pathetically wrong. I need to explain this to you guys. And I had to shut off my live stream right now on TikTok because it'll be some type of content violation. This chart is for sale for people who aren't MVPs. If you're an MVP, all you need to do is watch the videos. That's it. And in one of the videos, this last one here, where I put plus full card fight breakdown, full fight card breakdown, I took the time to show you guys where I would get my value and how I would bet these fights personally. I even called them RICOKNOWS locks. These are 4 bets I felt very good about because you could get more value than the money line by just double chancing. Now, maybe you don't have the same sports books I do. Maybe you don't have the same luxury I do. But I broke it down and did it for you in person. But you guys skipped this post and went straight to this post. I can't help you. I can't help you any more than this. It says 4 locks not on the main card sheet. I'll do you one better. I went to the Discord server and I put it in the props section and I wrote 4 bets that aren't on the final chart, but they're explained fully in the Kayla Harrison and Julia Pena video. I can't feed it to you anymore. It's right there. And I tagged every last one of you motherfuckers. Every one of you. And then I did the weekly chart. And I posted it. Now, why am I mad about this? Well, because these bets that I cooked up for you, and I never do that really. These bets, I went 4-0 on these 4 parlays. All 4 locks hit. Nothing missed. How aren't you green? And I'm going to stop worrying about why you're not green, because that's not my job. My job is not to make you a better gambler. My job is to assess fights, and however the fuck you bet on them, that's your business. But when I got guys coming to the server in the middle of a live stream last night and crashing out, asking me, why didn't you take Joshua Van? You fucking ridiculous? It's on the chart. And it's in white text. That's the highest priority you can have, because that means it was green before we highlighted it. It was like this, bro. Let me do this for you. Yep. But when I highlight them green, I turn them white. But if we miss a lock, it looks like Christmas for Vegas. I don't know what else to tell you. If you watch the video, I tell you, hey, I'm putting Bruno Silva here, but I don't think Bruno Silva is going to win, and you probably shouldn't take that bet. It's just stupid. These odds are dumb. But here's how I would bet it. I would bet Van by points, is what I said verbatim, and then put it on the chart, and then turned it fucking green. Which means I'm right 53% of the time on that particular prop. Props are a little different from money lines. It's all right here for you to understand. If I put a color, that's how one guy writes, well, Rico, that didn't happen, man. Wayne Kong, she should have won by TKO. Bro, this shit is purple. And it's a purple prop. Go down the chart and look. A purple prop is 32%. These are those value bets, those lottery tickets you're all trying to hit. All these purples, Miss Rico, you don't know what you're doing. No, all these purples are 32% for the whole fucking year. 18 fight cards, and they're 32%. That is trend analysis. So if you keep putting fucking units in there, you're just donating money and building fucking hotels. But if it's green, if it's a lock, it's fucking 57% on a prop. 53%. Look at the difference. 32, 57. Oh, but Rico, the payout's not the same. Yeah, we know, buddy. We know. Learn how to read the chart. It's color-coded for you. Fucking buy the numbers, color-coded. Disgusting work by some of you MVPs to not watch the videos, not pay attention to the color chart, not do your own research. And there's somebody out there paying for this shit. You know, I sell this chart for $20. Sell it for $20. MVP's $25. And people bought the chart. And then complain that they didn't understand how to read the chart. They didn't know why. They thought I was on this. They thought I was. I saw a guy parlay Bruno Silva with a lock. That's a special kind. That's something else, man. That's a special kind of fucking unreal. Simone Biles status, just fucking dumb. Oh, by the way, she said she wouldn't have won any medals. She competed against men back in 2012. Just so you know. All right. Early prelim. Marquel Medeiros versus Mark Chinoski. We took Mark Chinoski. We were wrong. We missed on an early prelim. I am now 9-9 on the early prelim fights. That's life. I do miss the early prelims. We're 50-50 when we're picking these fights. And it's just hard because we've never seen them before. So Marquel Medeiros, exactly what I thought he was. Very athletic. Goes out there, touches people up. The fact that he doesn't get a finish in here, I don't want to hear his excuses. He started saying, well, he's a dog. I'm fighting a dog, an undefeated dog. No, man, Mark Chinoski was unable to fight. Mark Chinoski is a conventional fighter. He's a wrestler who went to the gym and started working on striking, and then he thought he was a striker, and that's not it. And I told you guys, it looks like he's just going through the motions as a striker, very basic, and there's nothing dynamic about him. He couldn't check a kick to save his life. He couldn't switch stance to save his life. And when you know he's a dog, you know he's tough because he's going to keep pushing forward and moving. But not being able to impose your will, that's not good. Not being able to get a takedown and then just dominate from there, that's not good at all. And I saw him do that on the regional scene. He couldn't do it to Marquel Medeiros. Medeiros is too athletic. Now, Medeiros is nothing special to me. You should be finishing dudes like this. You should literally go out there and knock these dudes out, TKO them, make the kicks count, whatever it is, but we're going the distance. That's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. So shout out to Marquel Medeiros. I think Vegas is going to make you pay for him every time he's there, and I'm going to keep fading him for the most part. We're going to find out who he fights. And if Mark ever gets a chance to fight in the UFC again, we're going to find out real quick who the hell he's fighting because he does not switch stands. Another thing, he has pillows for fists. Even when he lands and he gets a flush shot, he doesn't turn his wrist over, so it doesn't hurt. He doesn't know how to strike properly. He doesn't bring any pain to anyone. So I'm just not on it like that. Excuse me for a second. Let me move this over. By the way, you should probably be watching this at 1.5 speed. Okay. Hey, shout out to Coaches. I just saw Coaches on the Discord server. Coaches Brian, MVP, longtime MVP. He said, and a mixture of those four are the only ones I touched, 100%. Those 4 bets that I played for you guys. Those 4 bets. I know people who bet on those 4 bets. I know who they are because they're posting in the chat. They're here every day. They're watching all the videos. They care about their money. The rest of you guys, you don't care about anything. You just want to be losers. Kind of like Yanel here. Shout out to Queen and Sal Kid. I told you guys he's a very dominant fighter. My God, did he look great in this fight. Shout out to Yanel for being tough enough to make it to the final bell. But holy smokes. The Quinlan Salakid, I told you I used to watch him fight in hotel lobbies, and he looked like a jiu-jitsu nerd, and then he learned how to crack. He learned how to land them things, but he's still very dominant wrestler, very jiu-jitsu nerdish, but not in a bad way. He doesn't sit back on his back in his guard. He actually stays in a dominant body position and just kind of weighs on you. And yes, he got exhausted towards the end, but that's life, man. He dominated this fight. So impressed with him. I think Vegas is going to make you pay for him like crazy. Think about this. The man shot 23 takedowns. 23 is an absurd number, bro. That's exhausting. And he didn't look that gassed, but 23 takedowns. And then 0 for 6, couldn't get over there. Still a lot of bang for your buck, right? Vegas is disrespecting this guy every time he's out there. They don't believe in him. And remember, he fought Trevor Peek and beat the shit out of Trevor Peek. I took Yanel in that fight because I know Yanel's tough, and I know that he's a skilled fighter, where Trevor Peek's not a skilled fighter at all. So Yanel, for me, the next time we see him, hopefully Vegas fades him really hard and doesn't think too highly of him, and we can get some money back because, we can make some money on because he's tough as nails. He throws hard. Yes, he struggles. He's little. He can't fight a 5'11", 135-pounder. That's the problem there. This Sal kid, he's going to be expensive every time you see him. Brace yourself accordingly. We'll have to figure it out. But he's very dominant. Loved everything about him. Good fight. Jekka Sergi versus Joe Sang Yu. Sometimes there's people at home and they're like, yeah, I will fight Tyson. I'll fight Tyson. Give me 50 grand. I'll take a punch from Tyson. 100,000. I'll get in the ring and fight Tyson. That's exactly what Jekka Sergi looked like. He looked like a random guy from the stands who walked in there and said, I'll fight an undefeated fighter. I'll fight a guy, Joe Sang Yu. I'll fight him. Jekka Sergi, he's going to come out and just throw them things. He can't grapple at all. Well, apparently he can't take a punch either. But this is more about Joe Sang Yu. We already know what Jekka Sergi is. Joe Sang Yu, we don't know what he is. We don't know what his ceiling is. This guy is still growing. I told you guys, when I watched tape on him, the first thing I thought was, that's me. And I didn't mean like I'm an undefeated MMA fighter in the UFC. I meant he's an anomaly. He's a genetic anomaly among his peers or among his nationality, right? Like, I'm 6 feet tall, 240 pounds athletic. I shoot, move, and communicate better than anybody that I know. And I just say to myself, okay. And then when I meet somebody on the phone or I talk to somebody on the phone, I'm like, yo, I'm Mexican. They're like, okay. And they come to meet me. And they're looking around looking for a little Oompa Loompa that works in, a gardener or something. And I'm like, no. So when I tell you Joe Sang Yu's an Asian guy, and then he comes out yoked out, chiseled, looks like an athlete, and I tell you, oh, well, he's a pretty good striker. This dude's got everything. Now, I still think there's some concerns about his defensive posture. Everybody's going to tell you he fights like Conor McGregor. Everyone's going to tell you he's got this one-punch knockout power. The most impressive thing about that knockout, I think it's one of the knockouts of the year, the most impressive thing about that knockout was there was no recoil. There was no wind-up or loading up. It was just out here, and with his hands out here, he threw a hook, and he ended somebody's night. That's incredible. Incredible. That either Jekka's got a glass jaw, which I don't know, but Joe Sang Yu, there wasn't a better debut for a guy like that in the cage at a numbered UFC event. It's pretty impressive stuff, and that's what a minus 650 should look like. That's really, really impressive. So shout out to him. Very impressed. We'll see what happens moving forward. But once again, I'm still concerned about his defensive posture. Then we have Ariana Da Silva versus Wayne Kong. This one I wasn't even worried about it. Wayne Kong, big deal. I wanted to make her the lock of all locks, and then the odds got away from us. I think when it opened, it was like minus 300. I thought that was stupid. There's no way Ariana Lipski Da Silva can fight this girl. And Ariana's a pretty decent fighter. Like, she's strong, and she does things. She showed up 6 pounds overweight. Can't grapple. Till this day, 6 pounds overweight, couldn't get a takedown when she needed it. She was 0 for 4 on those, and just a speed deficiency here, right? She's not quite there. I don't think she's a professional. I don't think that's real. You don't cut 6 pounds? That's just cheating as far as I'm concerned. She lost 25% of her purse, but that's very disrespectful. I would ban her for a whole year just for being unprofessional. I would not put her on any more fight cards. And then Wayne Kong, very unlikable girl. She's the Joker. She's too cocky. She keeps trying to sell this persona and all this. But, man, you want to talk about output. 226 strikes thrown. Landed 147. That's wild. She's very accurate. Her calf kicks were on point, debilitated De Silva. She should have won this fight by TKO. She should have. She had her limping on the ground every single time with that low kick, that calf kick, so much so that Ariana De Silva had to switch stance and fight the rest of the fight in the southpaw, which is fine, but she should have won this fight by TKO, and I would have been right, and my purple would have hit, and all you losers would have made money, but you're losers, right? Nothing I can do there. Shout out to Wayne Kong. Vegas always going to make you pay for her. She's very good. We'll see who she fights next. I think she called out, I don't remember who she called out. Oh, she called out Andrade. Andrade is a little banger, but I still think Wayne Kong can beat Andrade because she's too quick. So even when she fights Andrade, we're going to be on Wayne Kong. All right. Chaos Williams, Andres Gustafsson. So Andres Gustafsson is on record for saying he is the least talented fighter in the UFC. He actually said he fought like a R word. You guys know what I'm saying. It rhymes with hard. And the thing about Andres Gustafsson is he really is not lying to you. He says he doesn't watch film. He says he's just a Viking and goes out there and grinds. That dude closes distance so fast, immediately, and then just dirty boxes the whole fight. And it gasses out your arms once you see people pummeling for underhooks and just fighting against the cage like that. Chaos Williams' muscle mass was gone. Chaos Williams looked like he didn't want to be there anymore. And by the end of this fight, his face was bloody, and he just had nothing to say. There was nothing he could do. Like, you just can't debate. He don't want a rematch. I can tell you that. You ever lose so bad you don't want a rematch? That's how this is. Chaos Williams got his ass beat so bad he doesn't want a rematch. Yes, he has one punch knockout power. You're not going to get any of those off when a guy's right in front of your face. 8 for 14 takedowns, 9 minutes of control time. It was really just about drowning somebody and saying, I don't want to be here anymore. So, Andres Gustafsson, I was wrong. I thought that style doesn't work against somebody like Chaos Williams. It works exactly against somebody Chaos Williams. I think you're going to have to find another grueling brawler type of guy to match his toughness, Gustafsson, or you're not going to beat him. So, you're just not built for that, and you better start training for it. I don't know what these coaches are doing. If you know you're fighting a guy like this, you got to be in the gym, and you just got to be doing pummeling drills fucking 2 hours a day till those muscles, that's all you got, is shoulders and just a bunch of damn. If you guys don't know how to pummel, it's the most exhausting thing in the world. Nonetheless, Andres Gustafsson really impressed me. I'm sorry I faded him because I was on Chaos Williams for the fight, and a miss is a miss. It happens. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Sergey Spivak. Thank you to the MMA gods. We got a robbery here. I did not think Waldo won this fight at all, and it was unanimous, which is weird. I thought Waldo lost the whole fight. I'm serious. Waldo is a good striker. Yes, he had double the total strikes and all this stuff. Waldo is very unlikable. He's cocky. He starts doing like showman stuff in the fight. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And it's not even that far ahead. Now, I don't understand Sergey Spivak's game plan here. He's a world-class grappler. He's one of the best grapplers in the heavyweight division. And he doesn't go out there and just get his control time and win the fight in grappling, which is what he should have done, which is fine because I picked Waldo. I picked the underdog, and we hit. How many of you bet it? I don't know. Most of you guys were on the go the distance, not go the distance, not go the distance prop, which missed. That's life. But we hit on a value bet there, and I'm proud of it. Waldo Cortez Acosta is a little better than people think. He's very athletic. He can strike and hit hard. And then Sergey, he's actually a little tougher than I think because he just fought for 15 minutes on his feet, and I've never seen him do that before. He did a glorified kickboxing match, and he's not supposed to be good at that. So impressed with his toughness. Maybe we'll get him at a good bargain the next time he fights. And Waldo creeping up on everybody, starting to get them ranked fighters, and we'll see what happens soon. Speaking of ranked fighters, Azmat remains undefeated. It was a very easy fight for him. I don't think Ribeiro was even supposed to be in there, even though Ribeiro is always dangerous. They stopped this fight with no apparent knockout or TKO. They said it was a verbal tap. It wasn't a verbal tap. I think they just wanted to get it out of there. They just wanted to make sure this guy stays undefeated. Which I don't blame him. I'm cool with it because we predicted a first round knockout. We predicted a TKO or not go the distance, something like that. And I'm cool with Azmat. This was a lock. It's very simple. He's an undefeated fighter, but he does carry a little bit of fat on him, and I got a problem with that. That just tells me you're not a disciplined professional, and you're about to start fighting the real disciplined professionals, the real guys. He also looked like he was not ready to go initially. because Brenton Hibero was landing some strikes right off the bat. You got to wake this guy up, right? But Hibero, that dude, he's all here because he got a huge knockout in the Contender Series, and he's done nothing to live up to the hype ever since. And it's just one of these things where he's going to be consistent money. We're going to beat him every time. So let's see who fights next. But Hibero leaves a lot to be desired, because if he doesn't knock you out in the first, he's got no gas left. And if we got guys who are tough enough, smart enough to kind of wear his arms out and get out of the first, you're going to beat him every time. So shout out to Azmat. Easy call, easy win. Now this one, sorry for yelling in the beginning, but I'm not sorry. I can't stand you motherfuckers who don't watch the videos and don't pay attention. Joshua Van, good fighter. Very good fighter. I did not agree with the odds. Then he went out there and he showed, and he looked like the odds, right? He looked very dominant. But this is a guy, people started telling me he's the next Max Holloway and things like that. This is a guy that's been going to decision fight after fight after fight. Like, he needs to finish these fights. He should have won by TKO in this particular fight, or he did, right? In the third. My bad, with 1 minute left. Let me go back and let me relive this nightmare. If you don't know, I predicted Joshua Van to win this fight by points because he's not that deadly, and because of that, Bruno Silva was very tough. And Bruno Silva was very tough for the majority of this fight. He was hanging in there, getting beat up pretty bad, and still making it out of the first and second round. We get in the third round, we got 1 minute left, and he actually quits at that point. That hurts my soul, man, because we could have made a lot of money at that point. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we knew Joshua Van was winning the fight, but at minus 750, there's no point in, why didn't you pick him? There's no point in picking him, because you don't get any profit from that. You don't make any money from that. So I talked about it and said, listen, when you see odds at probably minus 300, at that point I start leaning more towards the method versus the money line. And we have to get a little surgical. Once you start trying to get surgical on methods, you're now going down to the 30%, 50% hit rate. Meaning skip the fight, bro. When you see odds like this, just skip it. You're not going to make any money betting the winner. So then you got to try to bet the method, and we only get the method right 30% of the time. Skip the fucking fight. Don't get the method right. Just walk away. Just watch it as a fan. I can't help you guys. Some of you guys have a real addiction and a sickness, and I don't need to lose any sleep or stress over the fact that you're feeding your addiction with ignorance and just negativity. It's not any good. I don't need to worry about that personally. Next fight, Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. I'm so proud. I told you guys Vicente Luque has a brain bleed. I gave you a long story about it. A lot of you didn't watch the video. But listen, it was pretty simple. Kevin Holland hits hard, knows how to grapple. You're not going to deal with that if you're not 100% there. Don't talk about Vicente Luque's past wins. He's not the same guy. That Jeff Neal knockout changed who he is. They said he's overcoming a lot of medical issues. No, I think it's still there. I think this guy will forever be, he's leaning towards, remember Muhammad Ali? I remember Muhammad Ali lighting the torch, bro. I remember Muhammad Ali in the 96 Olympics. And I looked at that guy while he was lighting the torch and shaking, right? I was like, man, that reminds me of Michael J. Fox. Like, I don't know why that guy's dangerous. That guy's not dangerous, right? Vicente Luque is on that path. He's not dangerous. As an elderly man, there's going to be nothing dangerous about this guy. And he's only 33, but this is bad. This is Nate Diaz talking with a slur. Yeah. Put this dude in rehab down in Mexico with Nick. I'm just not on Vicente Luque like that. I don't believe in him. It's not real. So I don't care what they say. Don't care what the odds are. We'll take it every time. And shout out to Kevin Holland. Pretty easy win. And you guys got to know, it takes a lot of courage for me to put a Kevin Holland fight as a lock. That's crazy. And I did it. And he won 2 fights back to back. And I called it. And some of you still didn't tail it. Some of you still didn't understand that if I am talking about Kevin Holland as a lock, that means I really don't believe in Vicente Luque. That means I really don't believe in his opponent. And I've never done that. And I've never made Kevin Holland a lock in 3 years. But some of you guys got to learn how to read the enthusiasm and the mindset and all that other stuff. Now let's talk about this fucking fight here. So this is the biggest miss of the night. It hurts. When I try to diversify the parlays, and especially those 4 parlays I gave you guys. Those 4 parlays all hit because I diversified my double chances with very big favorites. That's why they hit. I did not go towards this lock here, even though I made Patchy Mix a lock, and we'll talk about it. But even though I did this, I did not include any of those parlays because you need to diversify. You just have to. This is how we still hit 3 parlays. We still hit the RICOKNOWS money line parlay. This is my favorite one right here. I put my fucking name on it. As I was making the chart and filling it out and talking to you guys, go watch the video. Go watch the Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena video and listen to me talk my way through this chart with you guys. And then I put my name on this one because I said, oh, these 4 people aren't losing. This is the one I like the most. I'm going to put my name on it because then I changed this one to main card parlay. And I said, no, this is the one down here. But you got to watch the videos. Now, if you watch the videos, I tell you Patchy Mix is him. I tell you Patchy Mix is coming over from another organization, and he's fucking a superior athlete. He's a great grappler and a great wrestler. All this shit, bro. Motherfucker got 0 takedowns. They say he shot a takedown. I don't believe him. Patchy's new nickname is Patchy Concrete Mix. You know, it's hard to tell how good a fighter is when he's fighting scrubs, but there's no way. All right. I'm wrong because I believe in Patchy Mix. But Vegas is wrong. Everybody's wrong. Like I don't understand how we all assess Patchy Mix to be this good. This is real. Because he got out there and looked fucking ridiculous. He looked like somebody who's never fought a day in his life. He just had this mean look on his face the whole time and just took an ass beating from a superior fighter. He's nowhere near the top 15. Patchy Mix looked like an early prelim fighter who's still trying to figure out his way. He looked no better than Mark Chinosky in the guy in the first early prelim fight. It was embarrassing. And apparently during that fight, my mic went out. And you guys couldn't hear me while I was talking the whole time on TikTok Live. And I was on the Discord server in the stage. And I'm just saying, what the fuck is this guy doing? That's one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. Worst debut I've ever seen. He would have been better off getting knocked out. We wouldn't know that the dude, 0 head movement, 0 fluidity in his ability to fight. Like 0. I changed his nickname to Patchy Concrete Mix. That's his nickname. Concrete. Because he moves like he's in concrete. I mean, he's terrible. I don't know. And I'll be furious if he fights again and he goes out there and wins. Because we're going to fade his ass hard. Now let's talk about Mario Batista. I want to personally apologize to Mario Batista. I need to, and I usually do this. I think we've done this every single time. I need to respect the UFC acumen. I talk about this all the time. This guy's been fighting in the UFC against the best fighters in the world. This guy's been fighting bums, and that's how we get it right so many times. Ludwig Klein losing just a couple cards ago. It's exactly what I told you guys. And I've done that over and over and over. And then I get to this particular fight, and I get away from my standard approach to evaluating the fighters. I get too enamored with a highlight reel. I get too enamored with the belief that Patchy Mix is winning. And it cost me, it costs you, and it sucks, man. I hate that. And then I'm fucking embarrassed about it. And then he should be more embarrassed, right? But it's part of life. It's part of the gambling. It's part of the game. You miss. But this one is different, man. Mario Batista was so good. Fluid. Way better. Just if you saw these two guys in a gym, you would be like, oh, that guy over there? Oh, what the fuck? Right? The 29-28 is laughable. I think Sal D'Amato gave Patchy Mix a round, of course. But Mario Batista was far superior to Patchy Mix. Far superior. In every aspect of fighting. Every aspect. It wasn't even close. And the whole time I'm watching this fight, all I thought was, who are the 20 dudes walking around right now that have lost to Patchy Mix? Like, who the fuck are you guys? I'm so frustrated. And it's a fight like that that makes the job really hard. Because then you got a guy that'll start posting his betting slips, and they're not his. He just took screenshots from somebody else online, and he posts them all over the Discord server, posts them everywhere, and he's like, look, I just won $3,000 on Mario Batista. Yeah, we know, buddy. We know. You bet Mario Batista. We know. It's tough, man. Shout out to Mario. Looked good, and we'll know that the next time he goes out there. Obviously, he's a very good fighter. Patchy Mix sucks. Hey, speaking of sucks, what up? Kelvin? Shout out to Kelvin Gastelum. I talk about it all the time. He just doesn't belong in this weight class. Yeah, he's tough. I guess he's tough. It's silly. Unprofessional. Not dedicated to the fight game. And I say that about somebody who's been fighting for so many years. But he's not dedicated to it like professionally. He plays basketball on the weekends, bro. Kelvin Gastelum is a plumber during the week, and then he plays pickup ball after work, and that's just the way he approaches fighting. I refuse to believe that this guy in 15 minutes who landed 34 strikes belongs in this weight class. I refuse to believe that he's any threat to win anything. Joe Pyfer had this in the bag from the jump, and Joe Pyfer knocked this dude out 3 times. I don't want to hear about nothing else. Knocked this dude out 3 times. He fucking floored him twice in the first round, and yeah, he wasn't sleeping, but I've seen fights stop for with less action. Shout out to Joe Pyfer, an elite grappler. Didn't even need to use it. Very strong. And the only thing that worries me is his interview at the end of the fight when they were talking. He said, oh, yeah, I didn't want to go too hard. I didn't want to gas out and try to finish this guy, and then you don't have anything left. So he was being careful and pacing himself and trying not to go for broke. And then he turned into a one-punch artist. Once he saw that he knocked him down, he didn't throw any combos. So I don't like that he didn't throw combos. I don't like that he's afraid of his cardio ever since that fight. Was it JDM? Who did he lose to? No, Hermanson. And he just got, they say fraud check, but it wasn't really a fraud check. You get big brothered, man. You get bullied. In this fight game, veterans are a different entity, man. They've been the best fighter in their gym, or they've been fighting the best fighters in their gym for decades. And then they run into this hot kid moving up the ranks, and the kid doesn't realize, oh, yeah, I fight with dudes like you every day. You ain't special. And you've never felt that old man strength. You never felt that grip before. So Joe Pyfer's getting there. Loved what I saw. I mean, he's just a vicious, strong man, and he's going to do some things. Vegas is going to make you pay for him, though. Vegas is going to make you pay for Joe Pyfer if you like him that much. Kelvin Gastelum, it's been a while since I believed in him, and obviously watching him fight D-Rod is when I realized, oh, these guys, this is a senior circuit. These guys do not belong in the UFC. Even D-Rod. I don't care if they're winning or not. It's just you get to that age, and I'm out of it. I'm not interested. So I'm not interested in backing Kelvin Gastelum at any point. Real talk. Kayla Harrison, Julia Pena. This is laughable, bro. Shout out to Kayla Harrison getting it done by Kimura in very fast fashion. If you see somebody reaching for a Kimura, you got to start grabbing your shorts. You got to do something, and it wasn't happening. Juliana Pena had no chance in this fight. I don't want to hear what anybody had to say. Her little hunched over fight style just does not impress me. The way she kind of moves around, she looks like one of these fucking old ladies in the ring or something. Somebody keeps telling me she's pretty. No, she's not. An awful looking lady as well. Just keeping it real. Kayla Harrison, not a looker, but man, she ain't pretty, but that walk is mean, bro. She's just so mean. Love it. She's tough. I hope she beats the shit out of this lioness that's coming out of retirement. Kayla Harrison, vicious beast, monster, great takedowns. There's something to be said about an Olympic gold medalist. You just had a different level in athleticism and ability, drive, determination. She talked about going to a dark place just to cut down to 135. That's fine. That's professionalism. I love it. Kelvin Gastelum could never. This girl probably had to work really hard to get to 135, and that last pound might have broke her spirits, and she said, the Lord had to get it off her. She couldn't get it off her. It doesn't matter, man. When you see somebody bounce back and cut the weight and then look like the way she did in the cage, you got to respect the professionalism. You got to respect everything, and those odds were accurate. Minus 550, they were not wrong. She looked great. She's a lock for me, and making somebody a lock when they're not the champ, people are afraid of their cardio, I'm not. I loved it. I had to pick her as a lock because Juliana Pena is probably one of the worst champions in the history of MMA sports. Like, in the history of MMA, she might be the worst champion you've ever seen. There's probably Cody Garbrandt, some others that got lucky, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, and then speaking of worst champs, there's Sean O'Malley there. Has Sean O'Malley beat anybody in the top 5? Like, has he beat anybody? He didn't beat Peter Yan. All right, he didn't beat Peter Yan. Now, the record says he did, but he didn't. Main event, pretty simple. I told you guys Merab was winning this fight. Unfortunately, he did not win by points, which is a little crazy, but he was going to win the fight regardless. Merab is just not to be played with right now. You can't fight at his pace. He's not afraid. He's not fighting scared like some of these other, you heard Joe Pyfer say, I didn't want to go for it. I was worried about the cardio. You see guys pacing themselves. Not Merab, bro. Merab's 25 minutes ain't shit. I don't know what he does for training. I don't know if it's just innate, if it's in his genes or what, but you can't bet against Merab. And when you're getting Merab at minus 250, that is such a bargain. And I was talking about getting O'Malley at 200 as a bargain, and I saw a lot of people jumping on it, and people were throwing money out there on O'Malley. I know that they got all those tweets at the bottom of the screen, and they're talking about it. And I told you guys, O'Malley's a plus 283. What does that mean, Rico? O'Malley's a plus 283. Well, it means is if you put $100 on O'Malley, you will lose exactly $100. Same thing with Juliana Pena. It was a really easy call. Oh, by the way, this year on main events, predicting main events between the two best fighters on the card, I'm now 14-4 on the year. Just so you're aware. All right, so pretty easy fight. Merab's a monster. Sean O'Malley's not bad, man. Sean O'Malley's a good fighter. Stylistically, he will give other people problems, but you're not giving Merab a problem. You know what's going to beat Merab? I'm going to tell you who's going to beat Merab. Time. Father Time's going to beat Merab. Merab's not going to lose to anybody for a while until he gets too old. And that's it. That's the only way he'll lose. He's got to be too old. Nobody's beating him, not with this fighting style. And if you think you're going to knock him out, he doesn't have a chin, Rico, you're knock him out. He's never been knocked out. Stop saying that. The man's fought 24 fights and never been knocked out. And he's fighting the best fighters in the world, and he hasn't been knocked out. Stop telling me that's the game plan and doing things, okay? Let's go over this chart one last time. So once again, start of the night we missed. It was just a value bet. It's not the end of the world. We got Quinn and Sal Kid right. I told you over rounds because I believed in Yanel Ashman's toughness. We hit all the way, go the distance. So it's pretty good. This kid goes out, knocks you out. Jekka's not ready. And I said not go the distance was a lock. And the reason I made it a lock because Jekka had a chance to knock somebody out too. But at the end of the day, Joe Sang-Yu, real deal. Great prospect. Going to make you pay for him like crazy. Hopefully he gets a better opponent so we don't get odds like this anymore. Wayne Kong, even with a good opponent, they still gave you crazy odds on her. I knew she was going to win, and then I double chances. That's what the DC stands for. And there's no threat for her to ever win by submission. So it was knockout or points, and you got a minus 260, a better value than the minus 550 for sure. And she was supposed to win by TKO. It was so close, but it didn't hit. Next one, Chaos Williams. Just missed the whole prediction completely. Chaos did not knock anybody out. Gustafsson worked him profusely. I don't think Gustafsson wants to end fights, so he's just going to grind you till you're a pulp, and we're going to go the distance with Gustafsson just because he just wears on you, and it's not enough to knock you out. It's just enough to annoy you, right? Kind of like your 3-year-old on your back. You're like, man, get off me, bro. Get off me. It's just annoying me. But when the next day, if that 3-year-old was on your back all day, you'd be sore as hell. I mean, you're not going to be knocked out. So we missed on the not go the distance. These two heavyweights get in there. They got so tired they couldn't knock each other out. I expected Acosta to win. I wanted him to win by knockout. That's real. Okay, but he didn't. So I missed on that as well. It's tough. Most heavyweights, we're going to get an early finish, especially with Spivak there. Then we get Azmat. He stays undefeated. Told you it was a lock. There's no way he's losing to Ribeiro. And I said there was a good value bet to make. Now, this is what you guys got to do when you're watching the video. I'm watching the fights. I know Azmat's going to win. It's a minus 650. And I make it a lock, meaning we're going to parlay it. But there's no value in the minus 650. So I look for other value on the fight. And I go, I think this fight has a chance to go the distance. It would be pretty cool if it did. I hope these guys get exhausted and we go the distance. The plus 450. If you watch the video and you turn around and bet that, I can't help you. First off, it's purple. That's a 32% chance of that happening. And that is not the pick. That is not how you should approach this. Like, these are methods. Individual props. Props overall are 49%. Just all of them. Combine all the props together, it's 49%. This is where you guys are shopping from. You're shopping from the bin that is 49%. You're not shopping from the 72% bin. You're not shopping from the 68% bin. You're over here fucking around over here. And you're asking me, why did my parlay miss or why did my prop miss? This is to show you guys that even when you're hitting parlays, even when you're hitting stuff, the overall percentage, no lie, is not profitable. It's just not. You got to know what you're doing. You got to bet straights, and you got to pair up your stuff, and you'll be fine. Most of you. Joshua Van, we knew he was winning the fight. We went ahead and took him by points. It was a lock, and we didn't win by points. So if we don't win by points, it's not the end of the world. But for some of you, it was, because some of you idiots bet Bruno Silva, which is a value bet. That wasn't the pick. The pick is over here. This has a higher confidence. We care about greens more than purples. We care about greens more than purples. Even on the same line. Please understand the order of precedence and confidence. That's how that's done. Okay, I can't do it for you. Next fight. It was a lock. Kevin Holland wins, beats Vicente Luque, and I told you it wasn't going the distance because Vicente Luque has a brain bleed. He's just getting dumber every day. All right, Patchy Mix, complete miss. Called it a lock and wasting my damn time. Joe Pyfer. I love this bet. Didn't make it a lock because I had respect for Kelvin Gastelum and professionalism. I thought these odds were stupid, but I knew Joe Pyfer was winning this fight. Yep. I also said take the prop of him landing more significant strikes. He did, and he didn't get the sub, so that was red. That's why the red U is there. So that's a miss. So this is a hit and a miss, 1-1 on prop bets. Remember, prop bets that are this is considered a lean prop bet because it's in black. We hit those at 57%. It's the highest rate we hit. We hit the blacks. The black prop bets, we hit the most. We get them right. We missed 2 here, but we hit 1, 2, 3. So we went 3 and 3 on prop bets, the lean prop bets. We usually hit those the most. So if you're looking at the chart, look for the black props. Those hit the most. Just so you're aware. Next fight, I told you Kayla Harrison was winning, and it was a lock. I told you Marab was winning, and it was a lock. Look at the parlays. Main card parlay, Patchy fucked us. Didn't happen. Next one. Money line, 2 from the prelims, 2 from the main card is what I said. Not this one. No, that's the RICOKNOWS one. My bad. So we're right here. Sal Kid I believed in. Asmat I believed in. Wayne Kong. And then Kayla Harrison. I felt like these 4 couldn't lose to their opponents, and that's why I put them all together. I felt like they had no chance of losing, and that's why I got the minus 120. Patchy Mix ruined this one because Wayne Kong's double chance hit. Shout out to the newest MVP, one of the newer MVPs. It was his first fight card with us on the Discord server, and he told me that he came up with this, and he shared it with me on Discord, and I went ahead and used it as one of our bets. I'm trying to remember what his name was. I apologize. He asked, hey, how does this look? What was his name? Brogan. Shout out to Brogan. Brogan did fade me and take Sean O'Malley in the main event. That's not my problem. You can fade all day, but I'm not worried about it. So that's life. Next bet was the RICOKNOWS money line, the one I believed in the most, the one I love the most. I put it down here. Sometimes I put these in order by like payouts, odds, confidence. But just read and just pay attention. This was I wanted you to be able to recover and get your money back if you missed on something. I do that a lot too. Like we'll be missing, if we miss on the early prelim, we'll be like, all right, what's our next bet? How do we get all our money back? Well, sometimes our chaser. Well, how are we chasing this? Maybe I'm going to label one chaser. Then we hit the Ash parlay. I named it after my dog, and that was money line. Our girl Kong, money line. Merzanovic, money line. Harrison and Davishali, the main event right here. Dog. That was our dog parlay because they're all dogs. How you like that? And we named it Ash after the puppy. So we have RICOKNOWS and Ash. You guys didn't catch it. You guys didn't care. Pick 2 dudes we thought would get wins. Patchy ruined it. So did Chaos. Main line, money line, blah, blah, blah. Patchy ruined it, and Patchy ruined it. This is why you can't have a single point of failure in all your parlays. Try not to double dip too much. So locks actually improved because we went 4-1 on locks. It went up to 72.73%. If you remember last year, we were at 83%. We got to get there. Money lines, we're actually doing really well. Last year, I think we were at 66%. We're at 68%. This is lean money lines, excuse me. Value bets, I think last year we ended at 42%, so we got to climb back there. We're trying, man. It's tough picking underdogs to win and then telling people to bet them, and especially when I'm doing stuff like this because the odds are dictating that I pick that money line. It's pretty tough. It's tough to get any better than that, but we're doing okay. Bet on the purples, bro. Bet on them. Good luck. Parlays. Overall parlays, we're at 37%. That's all of these down here, and including the 4 that I gave you guys on the other posts. Please pay attention to all the posts on Patreon and YouTube. Parlay prop locks. So these are locks that are either props that are green or the parlay that was green. This one up here. Still at 53%. It's not terrible. If you see green, it's not terrible to bet it. It's not terrible to bet it. 57, that includes these 2 black ones here. And then 32%, the worst one on the chart, those are all the purple text you see. If you want to be great and you have the discipline, stay away from all the purples. Anything I make purple is only going to hit 32% of the time. Stay away from it. You'll be doing really well. Don't fade it, because some of this, there's no profit in fading it. Like, you can fade that 490, you'd end up on a 750. Fading it, does that make you better? Does that make you paid? No. The ROI is your business. Remember, I don't ever talk ROI because every MVP bets differently. The amount of units you put on it is your business. I do not dictate unit size. I don't say this is a 2-unit, 3-unit. I don't do that. Now, every now and then, I'll be in here and I'll be like, yo, guys, I'm really confident about this. I'm going to give you guys an example. Kim's in Virginia right now. If you ever hear my significant other is in Virginia, that means she's betting right now. She's betting on my behalf. That means I have something that I think is worth your money. And for me, it was those 4 bets. Those 4 bets I drew up for you guys are exactly what Kim bet for me. And if you ever hear I'm putting money on something, pay attention. Okay? Other than that, I'm just analyzing. And I want to be right, because if I get it wrong, I lose MVPs. We've been doing this for 3 years. Some people come in here shocked, and they're like, oh, my God, Rico. No, we've been doing this for 3 years. We're very profitable. It's on you. It's on you how profitable you are. If you feel the need to bet on every fight, you got a real problem. There's no way I would be betting on every fight. No way in hell. That's just silly. I bet on individuals I know are going to win, and I find the most value. And for me, that's double chance. For me, that's maybe go the distance, don't go the distance. I find different ways about it, but maybe plus 3.5 if that's what you like for point spread and stuff like that. But some of you guys are so just locked in on what's the method, what's it? Is he winning by knockout in the second round? Like, if you're that guy and you're trying to hit a plus 900 on every bet, just stay away from the channel, stay away from me as a person, because I don't like you. I'm serious. I don't like you. People like you are a problem, okay? Nonetheless, props overall, we're just under 50%. It happens. So, MVPs for the money line on the year, we're above 60%. We just went 69% on the card last night, 9-4. It's been a while since we've had a red card. We haven't had one since Brady and Edwards. Remember, we took Leon Edwards. No, we didn't take Leon Edwards in that fight. I don't think we did. But we still had a bad night that night. 7 misses, 8 misses. Look at that, 3 weeks in a row. But usually, we're pretty green all year. We might have 7 or 8 bad cards all year, so we got 4 of them out of the way. Let's just stay green. Thank you guys for being MVPs. Thank you guys for believing in me. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.